Of the weekly sit down campaign update for Kingsway, and today I'm joined by Waka Khan, who's a candidate in Central. We're also going to find out and get an update from him about what's going on, as Rochdale is a small town, and every area can benefit another area, and that's what we're going to do as Workers' Party candidates. We will be working together to ensure that Rochdale as a whole is getting more from the council. Waka Khan, thank you for coming today.
Thank you for having me here today, Haroon. I'm Waka. Like Haroon said, I'll be running from the Central Ward in Rochdale, and there's plenty more to come in this interview, what we will be highlighting.
Brilliant. So, first, let's give you a weekly update from Kingsway. Today, this week, we've been out talking to the local businesses. As you saw in my first episode, we said we're going to promote, support these businesses. We've been on Oldham Road, Milnrow Road, speaking to the small businesses and asking them what their concerns are. Now, they clearly are facing very difficult times ahead, and that's something that we need to speak to the council about easing the pressure off them and not making it so difficult to be a small business owner. We also spoke to workers as well who work in JD Sports, work in Asda, work in these Amazon, and even they're showing signs. They're saying we're working 12, 15 hours a day, and we're not even getting enough money to even pay their bills or pay their rent. Is this a common problem you've seen happening in your area as well?
Yeah, there's a lot of problems that are happening regarding businesses, especially coming me. I'm working in the retail sector as well, and I speak to staff, and they are struggling with the cost of living. It's very difficult to survive in this day and age.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's not much help coming from this local council or the government led by the Labour Party. We want some kind of a bit of leeway for the staff, for the businesses, where the VAT charges are dropping a little bit. Even the council tax. Businesses are having properties with council tax raised. So there's a lot of difficulty, especially with the smaller businesses that run on a day-to-day basis, which rely just on their wages rather than having a massive turnover or profit. But I do believe it's having a massive effect in my ward as well, and a lot of people have approached me to see what kind of help they can get, which is minimum at the moment.
Yeah. What do you think the council can do to alleviate some of the pressure off the small businesses?
Yeah, I mean, with the small businesses, even if they reduce the council tax, the business rates, because they're sky high. You have a small takeaway which people are just managed to break even, but at the same time, the council tax is that high that monthly expenditure is going. There's more expenditure than income. So the capital has to be managed in a way where the local businesses are supported, and this is where we come into it, and we will be raising a voice against the local council.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of hurdles in the way for small businesses when it comes to, commercial tax, when it comes to planning, or it could be anything that they want to do. We see a lot of hurdles in their way that make it really difficult for them to thrive and do well. And this is something that does need to be spoken about. We should be celebrating these small businesses in the town. And you know Kingsway. You see on Kingsway we have two different sides of the world. We've got one side where you got your small businesses, and then as soon as you cross the road, you got your multi-billion-pound companies on the other side where thousands of people work, who are on most of them are on minimum wage, or sometimes even on working flat out, 12 hours a day, and it's sad to see, people. But cost of living is a real issue, isn't it?
It is
at the moment.
100%. I mean, people are relying on food banks. If you look at it, it's purely down to because look, sometimes when you have businesses in the area, that business wants to do that well that they're helping the community at the same time, giving something back to the community. But how can businesses give anything back to the community while they're not even managing to help themselves because of so much difficulty within the business sector? I think our aim should be, which it is, in May, coming May, when we do take our seats, we will be raising the concerns for the local businesses, and we will see what we can put in place where it does help the local community as well as the businesses itself.
Yeah, and I think the first step for us is to raise the argument, which is what we're doing even right now. to bring that argument forward and to speak for the working class and to speak for those people who are struggling. And it's to bring that argument forward. What else do you feel like is happening in Central? What are the key issues have you seen like?
I've seen, I've done a few broadcasts, a few podcasts, and interviews, and I keep mentioning the neglect, in the ward. But the main issue, which I am really going to highlight now, as well as later on when I do become part of the setup of the council, is the fact that the NHS, which is affecting everybody in Rochdale, we have no infirmary, we have no maternity wards, we have nothing. So why is it that we have to go all the way to Oldham and we have to go to Bury while we've got such a big town ourselves? So this is something we will be very loud and we will be making a noise about that. It's
absolutely. I think the people of Rochdale have got quite a bit too used to having no infirmary and no maternity ward. We've almost kind of got used to it. But we need to raise that idea back again. We need to bring that back up again. There's something that Rochdale need. Do you feel like people are being driven out of Rochdale? Whenever I talk to people, they be like, "Oh, I can't wait to move out of Rochdale. I want to get out of Rochdale." Why has this become the common thing? Do you think? What else do you think factors are playing in that, where we're driving not only businesses, people, and now even babies are being born out of town? So, what's driving people out of the town?
I think the reputation of our town in the past decade maybe is declined purely on the basis that there's no leadership, and because of lack of leadership, there's so many issues such as the grooming gangs, such as businesses that are closing down. If you go, for example, into our town centre, you'll find more pound shops and discount shops than the large retailers, because they've moved away from our town to for people places like Bury or Oldham. People tend to just get on the tram and just go to other towns rather to shop. And when it comes to living wise, they feel a bit uncomfortable living in our town because there's not many facilities and not much has been done in the last 10 years. It's become a ghost town, to be fair.
Yeah, but we mentioned the council tax before. Do you think the rising council tax balances out on what the people of the town are getting in return?
It doesn't balance at all, because it's absolutely, if you go, we've spoken about businesses. If you go to normal people who are living in a 2-bedroom house, if you speak to them how they're surviving, and they will tell you, it's because I've been on the doors every single day, and this is one thing that keeps on popping up to me saying, look, we can't even afford to pay our rent and mortgages at this moment in time because of the council tax.
Yeah, it's a growing issue at the moment, and a lot of people kind of put it in the... It's kind of at the back of the mind at the moment. You mentioned something there called, like the grooming gangs. I think that's more at the forefront right now, and it's an argument that we probably could discuss. So, yeah, I mean, what kind of things could be done to tackle things like, sexual predators, grooming gangs? What kind of things do you think would you be working on that?
I think basically with the grooming gangs, it is an issue. It's not only an issue for Rochdale, it's an issue nationally. It doesn't matter what background you come from, whether you're Muslim, Christian, whether you're white, black, it doesn't make a difference. End of the day, when somebody's a criminal, they're a criminal and they should be put behind bars. But at the same time, I think an independent investigation should take place overall, and whoever's done the crime, they should do the time. But my point comes back to it, being educated, people being educated, safeguarding. These are vital points that we need to implement. And like I said, leadership is the key to it, because if you haven't got a strong leadership, these things can't be implemented in a way.
I was just going to say, you mentioned leadership there, and I think that's where it all comes from. Now, you got one side, and I'm going to throw a bit of a bombshell here, but you got one side where you got the members of the royal family mentioned in the Epstein files. We've got the council stuff going on where there's sexual harassment being reported by council leaders, and then we're seeing that happen in the town as well. So you're right, it is across the country, and I agree with that. It is across the country, and it is happening in not just on a local level. It's happening at a much higher level, right at the top of the food chain. So it's something that needs addressing. It's something that needs sorting out. So yeah, I mean, you're a working guy. You've not been involved in politics before, even though you have been working with the communities and on side by side, dealing with each casework for George Galloway. Finally, just tell us, what is it what is it you have decided to take that step back into public service? What made you do that?
So when I joined George Galloway's office as his caseworker, I realised that, you know, this is not where I grew up in. This town is not where I grew up in. The youth services have been taken away. The houses are not being renovated. The damp issues are coming forward. If you look at the area, there's litter, there's fly tipping everywhere. And I'm thinking, no parks are being built. No, you know, if you look around, it's totally declined.
Yeah.
No hospitals, no NHS. There's so much that I can say. But now is the point where we're not career politicians, but at the same time, we want our area back and we want something to be done. So we continue doing our full-time employment, but at the same time, we want to give something back to the community.
That's brilliant. I mean, for you to take time out of work and everything, it shows the dedication and how much you care for not only the area but for the town itself. And it's so great to have another candidate alongside with the already standing candidates, Farouk and Minam, who are doing a brilliant job. I mean, we're here in the office right now, and we can hear people actually in the other room who have come in to speak to us to deal with their issues. It's just great to see people who care, and that's what made me come on through here.
Yeah, 100%.
I stand for the working people. The Workers' Party is for the working people, and it resonates, you know, with the message that we want to put forward. But yeah, thank you so much, Waka. Is there any closing statement you'd like to make? Hey, you put a challenge out. You put a challenge out this week.
Yeah.
You want to just tell us quickly about what this challenge is? I mean, I did as well, but
so we both putting this challenge out. So our challenge to you Labour councillors who have neglected our constituents. You have silenced everybody. You've not raised their voice. My challenge to you guys is your venue, your place, your time. If you want, I can come to the Labour Party office even, and let's have a debate in front of the constituents, open forum, and I'm going to make sure I hold you accountable for wasting all the taxpayers' money for the last 10 years. And that's a challenge. And the time's coming soon. If you don't give me a time, I will give you a time, and let's debate.
There you go. Make that 2. I'm ready. I've put my challenge out. But hey, guys, it's not, you know, they'll turn around and say they're being confrontational, they're making noise, they just want, you know, it's nothing to do with that. It's about saying, if you care about the public and you think you've done a good job for the last whatever years you've been here, which is quite a lot, as far as I'm concerned. If you believe in your message and you think you've done a good job,
prove it.
Just stand in front of the people and let's put it all on the table and let the people decide. You know what I mean? We'll shake hands before, we'll shake hands after.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, it's not confrontational. We're not trying to be aggressive or anything like that. With all respect, let's debate. If all the Labour councillors want to come against us two, that's perfectly fine as well. We'll accept that as well. You can even bring Paul Wold with you. Not a problem.
Anytime.
There we
Ready
go.
for him as well.
You got it. Anytime. Thanks for watching, guys.
See you later.
We'll see you in episode
Thank you.
3.
Goodbye.
Take care. Bye-bye.